Hare Krishna. I would like to welcome you back to our channel, ISKCON Blantyre, where we are reading from the Ramayana series of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Canto 9. Currently, we are on chapter 11. Till yesterday, we discussed till text number 5. Now, let's see ahead. Text 6. O Lord, you are the master of the entire universe. What have you not given us? You have entered the core of our hearts and dissipated the darkness of our ignorance by your effulgence. This is the supreme gift. We do not need any material donation. Purport. When Dhruva Maharaj was offered a benediction by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he replied, O my Lord, I am fully satisfied. I do not need any material benediction. Similarly, when Prahlad Maharaj was offered a benediction by Lord Narasimhadev, he also refused to accept it and instead declared that a devotee should not be like a vanik, a mercantile man, who gives something in exchange for some profit. One who becomes a devotee for some material profit is not a pure devotee. Brahmanas are always enlightened by the Supreme Personality of Godhead within their heart. Sarvasya chaham hridisannivishto mattha smithir jnanam apohanam cha. As and because the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas are always directed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they are not greedy for material wealth. What is absolutely necessary they possess, but they do not want to they do not want an expanded kingdom. An example of this was given by Vamanadev, acting like a brahmachari. Lord Vamanadev wanted only 3 paces of land. Aspiring to possess more and more for personal sense gratification is simply ignorance, and this ignorance is conspicuous by the absence from the heart of a Brahmana or Vaishnava. Yes, it's quite a heavy purport or commentary where Prabhupada is again delineating the qualities of Brahmana, and we also see how the Brahmanas are telling Lord Ramachandra that we do not need anything. Whatever you have given us already, that's enough. You have been seated in our hearts and cleaned our hearts, etc. That's enough. We don't need anything else. And then Prabhupada in the commentary is saying how a devotee is not a vanik. Vanik means a businessman. Businessman is never gives out free things. He always takes money and then gives something or provides services. So we are doing devotional service. We should not be, you know, in want of anything because the Lord has already given us so much that we should be and we can be thankful for. Then Prabhupada also continues to say that Narsimhadev also wanted to give Prahlad Maharaj whatever he wants, and Prahlad Maharaj said, "No, I'm happy with what I have. Just keep me in your devotion at least till the end of life." So that's how we see that devotee is not a vanik. Devotee is not he's not doing devotion to get some money or to get some name fame. He's doing devotion and devotional service just to please the Lord. Pleasing the Lord should be our main focus, not that oh, I should go and do puja here so that they give me some donation. That is not bhakti. That is business. And Prabhupada also is giving the example of Vamanadev, how Lord Vamanadev was requested by Indra to go to the demons and get whatever things that they had. Actually, the demons have usurped the property of the demigods, and they were all stressed. So they requested Vamana Dev, also the incarnation of Krishna, to please help them. Vamana Dev said, "Okay, I'll do that." Then he goes to Bali Maharaj. Bali Maharaj is a big Kshatriya, so he wants to give donation. We read in the previous sloka that how Varnashram Dharma was followed nicely at that time. So the Brahmanas used to, take what is required, and the Kshatriyas were into giving charity. And then the Lord went to Bali Maharaj, and Bali Maharaj said, "Ask whatever you want. I'm the king of all three worlds. Whatever you want, I'll give you." So then Vamanadev said, "I just want three steps of land where I can place my three steps." And Bali Maharaj started laughing. He said, "Ha ha ha ha. You're a child, you don't know who I am, and you don't know what I can give. Instead of asking, even if you ask for a whole planet, I'll give you the whole planet. Why you're like you've got a childlike brain that is asking only for three pieces of land?" And that time, Lord Vamanadev said that, if somebody is not content with what he has, he'll never be satisfied. And dissatisfaction is the root cause of all the problems. So then, he said, "Yeah, okay, take your three steps of land." And then we see how Vamanadev, from, with his first step, he took over all the nether regions. And from the second step, he took all the way up to the heavenly planets. And then he said, "I don't have place to put my third foot." So Bali Maharaj became very humble. He understood that he is dealing with the Supreme Lord. He said, "Please place it on my head. I surrender myself to you." So we see how if somebody is not satisfied with, small things, will never be satisfied ever. And dissatisfaction is the root cause of problems. If we see in our day-to-day life, people are working harder. Some people have two jobs. Why? Because they're dissatisfied with what they have. Satisfaction is like a shoe, which helps us not get hurt on this rocky land of material world. Yes, so we will read ahead and see what comes up. Text 7, translation. O Lord, you are the supreme personality of Godhead. You have accepted the Brahmanas as your worshipable deity. Your knowledge and memory are never disturbed by anxiety. You are the chief of all famous persons within this world, and your lotus feet are worshipped by sages who are beyond the jurisdiction of punishment. O Ramachandra, let us offer our respectful obeisances unto you. Text 8. Sukadeva Goswami continued. Once, while Lord Ramachandra was walking at night incognito, hiding himself by a disguise the to find out the people's opinion about himself. He heard a man speaking unfavorably about his wife Sita Devi. Text 9. Speaking to his unchaste wife, the man said, "You go to another man's house, and therefore you are unchaste and polluted. I shall not maintain you any more. A henpecked husband like Lord Ram may accept a wife like Sita who went to another man's house, but I am not henpecked like him, and therefore I shall not accept you again." Text 10. Sukadeva Goswami said, "Men with poor fund of knowledge and a heinous character speak nonsensically. Fearing such rascals, Lord Ramachandra abandoned his wife, Sita Devi, although she was pregnant. Thus Sita Devi went to the ashram of Valmiki Muni." Text 11. When the time came, the pregnant Mother Sita Devi gave birth to twin sons, later celebrated as Lava and Kusha. The ritualistic ceremonies of their birth were performed by Valmiki Muni. Text 12. O Maharaj Parikshit, Lord Lakshman had two sons named Angada and Chitraketu, and Lord Bharat also had two sons named Taksha and Pushkala. Text 13 and 14. Shatrughna had two sons named Subahu and Shrutasena. When Lord Bharat went to conquer all directions, he had to kill many millions of Gandharvas, who are generally pretenders. Taking all their wealth, he offered it to Lord Ramachandra. Shatrughna also killed a Rakshas named Lavana, who was the son of Madhu Rakshas. Thus he established in the great forest known as Madhuvan the town of known as Mathura. Now also when we go to Vrindavan, Mathura, there is a place called Madhuvan. Text 15. Being forsaken by her husband, Sita Devi entrusted her two sons to the care of Valmiki Muni. Then meditated upon the lotus feet of Lord Ramachandra, she entered into the earth. Purport. Commentary, just two lines. It was impossible for Sita Devi to live in separation from Lord Ramachandra. Therefore, entrusting her two sons to the care of Valmiki Muni, she entered into the earth. Yes, there you go. This is very shortened version of Ramayana. In Ramayana, it's chapters and chapters how this thing happened, but here only in two verses. Vyasadeva completes this because, as I've already informed or already made a point that they are not in contention who is going to give the better story. And Vyasadeva already has mentioned that Valmiki Muni has already discussed. I'm just going to give a synopsis. So here we see how Sita Devi was very chaste. She couldn't live without Lord Ramachandra. Nowadays we don't see that. Nowadays we just hear, so, oh, I cannot live without you. But then after some times they are remarried and carrying on with their lives. But Sita Devi couldn't. She would have given up her life long ago, but because she was carrying Love and Kush in her pregnancy, she did not want to, kill them also. So as soon as they were born, she entrusted them to Valmiki Muni to take care and train them as good human beings. And then she entered into the earth where she had come from. Yes, so we will read a little further. Text 16. After hearing the news of Mother Sita's entering the earth, the Supreme Personality of Godhead was certainly aggrieved. Although He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, upon remembering the exalted qualities of Mother Sita, he could not check his grief in transcendental love. Purport. Commentary by Srila Prabhupada. Lord Ramachandra's grief at the news of Sita Devi's entering earth is not to be considered material. In the spiritual world also there are feelings of separation, but such feelings are considered spiritual bliss. Grief in separation exists even in the absolute, but such feelings of separation in the spiritual world are transcendently blissful. Such feelings are a sign of tasya prema vyavasrita swabhava, being under the influence of Hladini Shakti and being controlled by love. In the material world, such feelings of separation are only perverted reflections. Yes, feelings of separation is a very difficult topic to discuss on because we don't feel that. We don't feel separation in the material world. We feel separation for a few time and then we just get used to it. And then we say, c'est la vie, so is life. But that's not the case with the spiritual. Here it is said how Lord Ramachandra also felt very much separation from Mother Sita. And somebody will say, he's God. He can do anything. But because he was displaying human qualities, human behavior, he did not want to transgress that. So he just accepted life as it is, c'est la vie, and carried on. But then he was very much aggrieved. And Prabhupada is giving the difference between grief or separation in the spiritual world experienced by the devotees for the Lord and the Lord for his devotees. Masita was the highest devotee of Lord Ram. So when she left, Lord Ramachandra was very much aggrieved. But these feelings of separation give transcendental bliss, transcendental happiness that wow, my devotee, did so much for me and I couldn't, repay. The Lord is feeling very much indebted to the devotee because the devotee has served him. Same thing we see in Radha Krishna Leela when, Krishna went to Mathura, all the Vrajvasis, all the devotees of Lord Krishna, they were all heartbroken. But there was bliss in it. They were not saying, oh, we are heartbroken, and after some time they got used to it and, they got some other guy to work as or to live as Lord Krishna in their life. No, it was always the same. But here we see in the material world, oh, I miss you, and I wouldn't be able to live without you. What will happen if you leave me? After some time, they are remarried, and then after some time, they are again remarried. So in material world, it only gives pain, and then people forget about it. But in spiritual world, it's not like that. There is also a shloka coming in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, uh, Adilila 4, fourth chapter, 165th verse. Uh, it is giving the definition of love and lust. Let me just look it up for you, which wouldn't take much time. Okay. So there you go. We have this. It says Atmendriya Priti Vancha Tarabalikam Krishnendriya Priti Icha Dhare Premana. The desire, translation, the desire to gratify one's own senses is calm, lust, and or but the desire to please the senses of Lord Krishna or Lord Ram is love. So these days we hear so much about I love you and all that stuff, but it really doesn't cut it in the world. But we have to, come to terms that our love is not as good as the love of Lord Ram for his devotees, or love of Lord Krishna for his devotees, or love of Lord Nrsimhadev for Prahlad Maharaj and his devotees. We can only try being his devotees, and we can do a very good job because it is so easy in the Kali Yuga. It says, we read in the previous chapter ending, Kali Kale Nama Rupe Krishna Avatar, that Krishna is present, or Ram is present in their names in this Kali Yuga. Yes, let's read a little bit further. Text 17. The attraction between man and woman, or male and female, always exists everywhere, making everyone always fearful. Such feelings are present even among the controllers like Brahma and Lord Shiva, and is a cause of fear for them. What to speak of others who are attached to household life in this material world? Purport, commentary by Srila Prabhupada. As explained above, when the feelings of love and transcendental bliss from the spiritual world are pervertedly reflected in this material world, they are certainly the cause of bondage. As long as men feel attracted to women in this material world and women feel attracted to men, the bondage of repeated birth and death will continue. But in the spiritual world, where there is no fear of birth and death, such feelings of separation are the cause of transcendental bliss. In the absolute reality, there are varieties of feelings, but all of them are of the same quality of transcendental bliss. Yes, we saw in the previous commentary also how Prabhupada is saying that all these, feelings are for transcendental bliss. They don't plateau and they don't go down. They just stay right up there. We have feelings of happiness, and after some time that fades away. Just now, a few weeks ago, couple of weeks ago, we heard that the Indian cricket team won the World Cup. It was like World Cup, yay! And how long did it last? That happiness? A few days. Now nobody talks of it. So happiness also doesn't last long. The feeling. So the point is that in the material world, nothing is permanent. Everything is temporary. But in the spiritual world, everything is permanent, and that's how everybody is living there. Permanence. Everybody in the material world is looking for permanence. Everybody wants a permanent job, which is difficult to find because once you find a job, then you got to prove that you are loyal to them. You have good, working skills. You got good human skills. You got to prove yourself. But to the Lord, you don't have to prove yourself. You can just serve, and the Lord is pleased with even little bit of service. So yeah, so is life, c'est la vie. We will stop here today, and I'll see you tomorrow with another episode of Ramayana. Thank you very much. Please join us. Please like and subscribe, and we will see you tomorrow. Thank you very much. Jai Shri Ram.